So I've done this chart to show the differences between mediation and conciliation, and they really are two different processes. And the differences are important. Conciliation is less formal than mediation and a more flexible process. There are no strict ground rules, and location is typically in a hospital conference room, not what most people would consider neutral territory. Ground rules set the tone and maintain orders, typically. And by the way, I only have, well, two actually. One is don't speak when someone else is speaking. I can't hear two people speaking at the same time, and neither can anyone else. So one person speaks at a time. My other ground rule is phones, and I really ask people to shut their phones off. In a hospital setting, that's kind of difficult because there are doctors on call and sometimes they have to answer a page. So, but for the most part, ask people to silence their phones. And another thing in mediation is the agreement to mediate. In conciliation, there is no such thing, no agreement to mediate, no opening statement. Those are two hallmarks of mediation. Conciliation is less about process and rules and more about trade-offs to reach a consensus. Mediation is voluntary. People are not forced to participate. I get that question a lot. Can I make my sister go to mediation because she's stealing money from my mother? Whatever the reason. No, you have to come to the table voluntarily. And you can leave the table whenever you want. If it's not working out, out you go. Parties can probably leave a family meeting, but the stakes are so high sometimes, like deciding life and death issues, it would be difficult to do that. The mediator is neutral and impartial and usually has no ties to either party. A conciliator can be someone from the family or hospital staff, such as a social worker or a chaplain, as long as they have the necessary skills to facilitate the conversation. Mediation is almost always confidential, and I will go to my grave with some of the cases I have done where I can't repeat it outside the room. But in a hospital kind of mediation, conciliation, it's not important for confidentiality as much as it is in mediation, and it's probably not even possible. Not all the decision makers may be in a room. A family member with considerable sway may be out of town. A neurologist might be in surgery and we only have his report to look at. Both these parties and many others, like a head nurse who's on the floor, may need to be consulted and informed about the discussion. In mediation, there's a signed agreement if parties reach a resolution. Sometimes a court is involved. In conciliation, there's usually just a commitment to act, such as to put in a feeding tube or do additional chemotherapy. There's never really a formal agreement. In mediation, the goal is conflict resolution. In conciliation, it's restoring trust or repairing a relationship, and that's just as important as the resolution.